Hey there, creature features. So, one thing that is kind of on my mind when I hear horror is the subgenres of horror. My hair is messy and bug is here, so. Um, but subgenres of horror. So, there's so many, and that's wonderful. But wow, my thought went all the way over there. So, subgenres of horror. Now, most movies can fit into two different subgenres, and that's okay. These are just my opinions on the subgenres. You don't have to agree with it. You know, you can put them in whichever subgenre you want to. But you can make Jaws a slasher if you'd like to. I won't judge you too much. Hey, get down. So I've just kind of ranked 13 different subgenres of horror. There's more than 13. So sorry if you can hear her. She's loud. But 13 subgenres of horror. So we'll rank them from 13 to 1. And I'll just kind of give a couple, movies that I like within those subgenres. Number 13, revenge horror. Revenge horror just is not my jam. I don't know many people who it is their jam. Definitely not my jam. I can only kind of really get through one movie that is revenge horror, and that is The Last House on the Left, the remake. I tried to watch Deliverance. I turned it off immediately. I just couldn't. That's me personally. And I guess another kind of revenge horror is Hostel 2. I do get through Hostel 2 pretty well. So revenge horror, though, number 13, just not my favorite. It's not so much the revenge aspect. I love the revenge part. Who doesn't? It's the beginning portion, which is interesting considering those things happen in a lot of other, subgenres and horror movies. And I don't know. But, yeah. Number 13, revenge horror. Number 12, body horror. Body horror is an odd thing. I mean, I do enjoy some body horror because I like really weird, obscure looking things. Not towards the human centipede or tusk, but American Mary, I really enjoyed kind of that take on body horror, and Betty is one of my favorite characters in horror movies. And then The Fly, classic, real classic right there. Not much to say about body horror. It's kind of self-explanatory. Number 12, body horror. Number 11 is sci-fi. As somebody who loves aliens, I even have alien princess tattooed on my leg. Another story for another time. You would think sci-fi would be higher up on my list, but I don't know. It's just not. But I do love takes on slashers meet sci-fi, such as Leprechaun in Space and Jason X. Jason X is probably my favorite Jason movie. Yep. But two sci-fi movies that I personally enjoy, Alien, obviously. Who doesn't love a good xenomorph? Alien, just Alien's really good, and the Faculty. I love the I love the Faculty with the little head. If you've seen it, But Pandorum. That's one I haven't seen in a long time, but that is a very good sci-fi. It could be in psychological horror. Like I said, many different movies can go into multiple subgenres. But that's number 11, sci-fi. Number 10, we've got zombies. And, who knows? This is my list. I can change my mind later on if I want to about how it's listed. But zombie films, I used to love zombie films. I used to love zombies in general. I would go to the comic shop to play board games. And what was one of the Zombie Mosh was one of the games we played, where basically the goal is to be the zombie with most limbs in the mosh pit. I love that game. Last Night on Earth, another good zombie board game. But Night of the Living Dead is definitely really up there for zombie films for me. George A. Romero was just a genius. I have Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and one of them was named Barbara because of the Night of the Living Dead. It is just such a good film. The ending, hoofed up, but just the main character, he was just so phenomenal, such a badass. And then 28 days later takes these zombies and throws in a different type of zombie, the rage zombie and the fast zombie. And me personally, it was one of my first experiences with the fast zombie that I can remember. And that got me thinking, are you a slow zombie person or a fast zombie person? Like, me personally, I'm a slow zombie person. That thought process of impending doom is insane. Yeah, there's so many good zombie movies. So number 10 for right now, I might change that, is zombies. Number 9, comedy horror. Who doesn't love a good comedy horror? Which kind of gets me into a movie I was watching today, The Funhouse Massacre. Phenomenal. But the movies I have here are Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Of course. A classic. I greatly enjoy that movie. Just about everyone I know loves that movie. It's a really great film. And then Shaun of the Dead. More zombies, but this time with comedy. Shaun of the Dead, it's just funny. There are so many one-liners from that movie, whereas Killer Clowns from Outer Space is just kooky and fun and just, you got the little balloon dog and everything a carnival and clown should be. You've got Shaun of the Dead, which has zombies, but is still very hilarious. So number 9 is comedy. Number 8 is witches. Witches get their own category because they're witches. Autopsy of Jane Doe is one of my favorite films. That movie hits me in so many different places. So it had to go in here. Just the whole, you're discovering what is happening. Well, the two main characters are discovering what's happening with this Jane Doe, the entirety of that movie. Really, I loved it. I loved the special effects, the techniques, you know, and just the old school morgue vibe. Really just hits up for me. I love that. The scenery was just great. And then the witch, and as me and my friends call it, the Vivitch, because of the two V's. So this movie was just it was great because it took place in a time period, and just how everything happened just felt really well done for that time period. I had to watch this movie in theaters for a religion class in college, and it just, I'm glad I went. It was the lesser of the two choices. The other one was The Forest, because they were out around the same time, and I went in theaters and actually watched both, just because I'm that person. But this movie makes me want to buy a goat. Something about Black Phillip. He's just really cute, and he stands on business. So number 8, witches. Number 7, how to put them together. Vampires and werewolves. Tale as old as time. Vampires and werewolves, you almost always see them kind of mentioned in the same movie together, and I wanted to bring two different options where you don't really see that. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you really see that. Cursed with Christina Ricci. Really funny, really quirky, really great cast. Werewolf movie. And one of the best boys, Zipper the dog in that movie. We love you, Zipper. And then you've got vampires. Another great cast. From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the green blood everywhere was phenomenally choice. Like, you know, and I know they did that for ratings, but I just, those two movies, really good. A good vampire movie that I actually watched recently was Day Shift. Snoop Dogg was in it, and I was like, let's check this out. Actually, really well done, too. I do enjoy that movie. But 7, vampires and werewolves. Number 6. And, you know, I might just switch 6 and 10. So we'll put zombies in number 6, but we'll talk about number 6, even though it's going to be number 10. Psychological horror. Me personally, I kind of have a hard time with psychological horror because I feel like all horror movies are psychological to some point. It's fear. It's, you know, it's supposed to be kind of messed up with your head. So to put things in this category, I always feel like they can go in different categories as well, you know. But I picked 2 that really are pretty with the brain. Run. I really enjoyed that movie. Sarah Paulson, you know, I'm meh with her sometimes, but overall I really enjoyed Run. And the other one is The Cell. Oh my goodness, that movie is so beautiful. Not a fan of Jennifer Lopez, but The Cell, I feel like, isn't talked about enough. So that's psychological horror. Big 5. Number 5 is kind of a lot of people's favorite subgenre. Maybe not so much anymore, but it used to be. Slashers. The good old classic slashers. Just something, I guess, about running away from a person with a crazy weapon. I don't know. The Strangers is one of my all-time favorite movies. Well, all-time favorite horror movies. I haven't seen Strangers Chapter 1 yet, but I have seen The Strangers and The Strangers Pray at Night. And I really love The Strangers, just the original. There's just something about that line, "You were home," that does it for me. And we gotta give it up for the 90s. Scream. Scream. Because they made this horror movie where horror movies already existed. Guy from the video store is going to tell you, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. Like, you should listen to him. Matthew Lillard, obviously, is amazing. Rose McGowan, garage door scene. It's just a good movie. It's got some comedy aspects in there, and I know it's taken back over again, but I haven't seen the newer ones. One of the things I want to do is rewatch them all. But Scream should be mentioned in the slashers, as should a lot of them. You know, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Psycho, Child's Play, all of them. Great. Number 4. Anthologies. I love short stories. I love anthologies. 2 anthologies that I love a lot. Trick or Treat. Sam. Gotta love Sam. And a lot of those stories in Trick or Treat, actually. It's something about all of the little ones going into a big picture. Kind of like VHS. Another good anthology. Tales from the Hood. Tales from the Hood. I love that movie. I love that movie. When there's something about when comedy actors or actors who are known for comedy take on a horror role, they just nail it. I love it. Number 3. Possession and ghost films. I don't know why I love them so much, but I do. I really do. And 2 of my favorites are Exorcism of Emily Rose. The way she can just contort her body and look terrifying at the same time. Had she done all that while filming White Chicks? I don't know. But she's just the way she can move her body is astounding. And that movie in itself was just really interesting. It was very interesting. And then another movie I love, Sinister. That lawn mower scene. They didn't have to do that. They did that for us. That scene just stays in my head. Sinister is, sinister. I love that movie too. Number two. Found footage. I do not know why I love found footage so much. Maybe it's just that raw. I don't know. I do not like the Blair Witch Project. I know it started a lot of found footage. I still don't like it. I should rewatch some of these movies that I just didn't enjoy. Maybe try to see why I didn't enjoy them. Who knows? But I just don't like it. But I do love The Taking of Deborah Logan. She was made for that role. She was born for that role. She was aged for that role. She haunts my dreams sometimes. she was phenomenal. She was phenomenal. Just phenomenal. And the other found footage one I really like, aside from As Above, So Below, Quarantine, there's a lot. Paranormal Activity 3. I don't know if it was the fan with the rotation idea or the when she goes up by her hair and is floating. I think that might be my favorite Paranormal Activity movie. I like the second more than the first one too. But number 1 has 2 of my favorite movies. Creature features and monster movies. I love monsters and creatures and everything like that. Like, they make me so happy. Jaws, all-time favorite horror movie. But Gremlins gives it a run for its money. Those are my 2 for that. Jaws and Gremlins. Maybe it's because sharks are my favorite animal. May or may not have a mediocre obsession with sharks. But also Gremlins. It's just so funny. But it's a Christmas movie. But it's a horror movie. But they're cute. They're cute. They're terrors. It's like cats. It's like cats. But Gremlins. I love Gremlins. I just love I do love Critters. I know it was kind of based off of Gremlins, but and the sequel to Gremlins is one of my favorite sequels. It just plays on making fun of sequels and why sequels are never really that good. But those are kind of my subgenres. We'll start from last to first. Revenge, body, sci-fi, psychological, comedy, witches, vampires and werewolves, zombies, slashers, anthologies, possessions and ghost movies, found footage, and creature feature monster movies. Maybe that's why I love Cloverfield so much. Found footage, creature. My name is Betty Boleyn. Thanks for talking horror with me. Also, you should comment. Are you a slow zombie fan or a fast zombie fan?